Welcome to Mindful English Podcast.
Welcome back to Mindful English. I'm James, and I'm here with Ruby. Today, I want to talk about something that many learners experience, but very few people talk about honestly.
Losing motivation?
Yes, those quiet moments when studying English starts to feel heavy, when you open a book or a video or a podcast and a question appears in your mind.
Why am I even doing this?
Exactly.
I think many learners feel guilty when they ask that question.
Because they think something is wrong with them.
Or they think they have become lazy.
But maybe neither is true.
Then what is happening?
Maybe they haven't lost motivation.
What have they lost?
Connection.
Connection to what?
To the reason they started.
Their why.
Yes.
You know, James, I think that's interesting because when people say stay motivated, they usually talk about discipline and habits.
Which are important.
Of course, but nobody asks a deeper question.
Why did you begin this journey in the first place?
Exactly.
And perhaps that's because life becomes busy. We focus on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and all these little details.
Until one day we forget that there was a dream behind all of this.
A dream.
Yes.
Ruby, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Why did you start learning English?
Honestly,
Always.
my first reason wasn't deep at all.
Really?
I just wanted to understand movies without subtitles.
That's actually beautiful.
You think so?
Of course, there doesn't need to be some grand purpose. Curiosity is enough.
I remember watching interviews and listening to songs and feeling frustrated because I couldn't understand anything.
And that frustration became a dream.
Yes, I imagined myself understanding naturally one day.
Did you imagine yourself speaking English too?
Not really. At that time, understanding was enough.
Interesting.
What about you, James?
My answer is different.
Tell me.
I wanted to feel connected to something larger than my own world.
Larger how?
Different cultures, different ideas, different ways of seeing life.
So English wasn't just a language.
No, it was a bridge.
A bridge to people.
And to stories.
And maybe to yourself.
I think so.
That's interesting because people often talk about language as a skill.
But it feels much more human than that.
Yes, language allows us to enter worlds that were previously closed to us.
New books.
New conversations.
New perspectives.
Even new versions of ourselves.
And perhaps that is where everything begins again.
You know, James, something interesting happened when I rediscovered that old journal.
What was that?
I realized that my reason for learning English had changed.
Changed?
Yes, the person who wrote those words years ago isn't exactly the same person sitting here today.
That's true for all of us.
At first, I just wanted to understand movies and songs. That felt like enough back then.
And now?
Now, I think it's bigger than that.
Bigger how?
I think English became part of how I experience the world. It became part of my everyday life.
That's beautiful.
It surprised me, honestly. I never planned for that.
I don't think many people do.
Sometimes we think our reasons should stay the same forever.
But people change.
And dreams change.
And meanings evolve.
Exactly.
I think that's why some people feel lost. They keep trying to reconnect with an old dream that no longer fits who they are.
That's interesting.
Imagine wearing shoes that fit you perfectly when you were 10 years old.
They wouldn't fit anymore.
Exactly, but somehow we expect old motivations to fit us forever.
So it's okay if my reasons are different now?
More than okay. It's natural.
You know, James, I used to feel guilty about that.
Guilty?
Yes, because I thought I had somehow abandoned my original dream.
But maybe you didn't abandon it.
What do you mean?
Maybe it simply grew.
I like that.
Think about a tree. It starts with a seed, but it doesn't remain a seed forever.
So the seed wasn't lost.
It transformed.
That's a comforting thought.
What would you say your reason is now, Ruby?
Honestly,
Always.
I think I want freedom.
Freedom.
Freedom to understand, freedom to express myself, freedom to connect with people without feeling limited.
That sounds deeper than simply understanding movies.
It does, but I don't think the old reason was wrong.
Of course not.
It was just the beginning.
Every journey starts with something small.
What about you, James? Has your why changed?
Very much.
Tell me.
Years ago, I thought learning languages was about becoming impressive.
Really?
Yes, I liked the idea of being someone who spoke another language.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but over time I discovered something.
What?
People are impressive for 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Maybe 10.
And then?
Then life continues.
That's true.
I realized I wasn't looking for admiration,
What were you looking for?
understanding,
Understanding other people.
and understanding myself.
That's interesting.
Learning another language showed me different ways of thinking, different values, different stories.
And that changed you.
I think so.
Sometimes I wonder if learning English is less about becoming someone else and more about discovering parts of ourselves we never knew existed.
I believe that's true.
Because language changes how we see things,
And how we describe our experiences.
and perhaps even how we understand our emotions.
You know, there's something beautiful about that.
What?
We're often thinking we're learning a language.
Aren't we?
Yes, but maybe we're learning ourselves.
That's a lovely thought.
And perhaps that's why losing motivation feels so painful.
Why?
Because it feels like losing part of ourselves.
But maybe nothing is lost.
Exactly.
Maybe we're simply growing,
And growth can be confusing,
especially when we expect life to remain simple.
which it rarely does.
So perhaps the question isn't, why don't I feel motivated like before?
Maybe the better question is,
What does learning English mean to me now?
because maybe the answer has changed.
And maybe that's not something to fear,
Maybe that's something to listen to.
because our why is not a destination,
It's a conversation.
one that continues as we continue growing.
And perhaps that's part of the beauty.
The beauty of why.
The beauty of why.
You know, James, after our last conversation, I kept thinking about something.
What was that?
How strange it is that something which once brought us joy can slowly become a source of pressure.
I think many learners experience that without even realizing it.
At first, learning feels exciting,
There is curiosity,
discovery.
a sense of possibility.
But then something changes.
Yes, we start measuring everything.
How many words did I learn today?
What level am I?
Why is my pronunciation still not perfect?
Why am I not fluent yet?
And little by little, joy becomes performance.
Which is ironic because performance was never the reason we started.
Exactly.
I remember a time when I became obsessed with productivity.
Really?
Oh yes, I had schedules, goals, apps, trackers, everything.
That sounds very organized.
It was, but something was missing.
What?
Life.
Life?
I had turned language into a project instead of an experience.
That's interesting.
Every conversation became a test. Every mistake became evidence that I wasn't progressing fast enough.
I know that feeling.
And strangely, the more pressure I created, the less I enjoyed learning.
Which made you less motivated.
Exactly. It became a cycle.
Pressure creates exhaustion.
Exhaustion creates guilt,
Guilt creates more pressure.
and eventually, even opening a book feels heavy.
I think that's what happened to me last year.
What happened?
I was comparing myself constantly
Comparing yourself to other learners?
to everyone,
Social media?
especially social media.
That can be difficult.
Every day I saw people speaking perfectly, sharing achievements, reaching new levels,
And what did that make you feel, Ruby?
like I was behind.
Behind whom?
That's the funny thing. I don't even know.
That's because comparison rarely has a finish line.
You're right.
There will always be someone who knows more,
Or speaks better.
or learns faster.
Which means comparison is a race we can never truly win.
Exactly.
And yet, we keep running.
Maybe because we think being hard on ourselves will make us better.
But does it?
In my experience, no.
Me neither. I think growth needs challenge.
But not punishment.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
You know, Ruby, I once asked myself a strange question.
What was that?
If nobody measured my English level, would I still want to learn?
That's a powerful question. And the answer surprised me.
What was it?
Yes.
You would?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because learning languages makes my world feel bigger.
Bigger in what way?
More stories, more ideas, more connections, more understanding.
So the joy was still there.
It was. It had just been buried under expectations.
Expectations can be heavy.
Very heavy.
I think sometimes we confuse discipline with pressure.
That's true.
But discipline doesn't have to feel harsh.
No, discipline can be gentle.
Gentle discipline.
Showing up without attacking yourself.
Continuing without demanding perfection.
Allowing slow days.
Accepting that progress isn't always visible.
You know what children have that adults often lose?
What?
Curiosity.
They aren't worried about sounding intelligent.
They aren't comparing themselves.
They just explore.
And maybe that's why they learn so naturally,
Because curiosity feels light.
while pressure feels heavy,
I think somewhere along the journey, I stopped being curious.
and started being demanding.
Exactly.
But curiosity can come back
How?
by asking different questions.
Such as?
Not how fast am I improving?
But what am I discovering?
Not why am I not fluent yet?
But what can I enjoy today?
Not am I good enough?
But am I still curious?
Because perhaps joy was never supposed to come after fluency.
Perhaps joy was supposed to accompany the journey.
And maybe that's something we forget.
Until life becomes too heavy.
And then we remember.
That learning was never meant to be a burden.
It was meant to be an invitation.
An invitation to keep discovering.
Not just the language.
But ourselves as well.
You know, James, I think one of the reasons people lose motivation is because they think they are supposed to feel inspired all the time.
That's a very common expectation.
We see people online talking about passion and consistency, and we assume they wake up excited every single day.
But real life doesn't work that way. No, it doesn't.
Some days are exciting,
Some are ordinary.
and some feel heavy,
Yet we often interpret those heavy days as failure.
which makes difficult moments even more difficult.
I remember a time when I stopped studying for nearly 2 months.
2 months?
Yes.
What happened?
Honestly, I was exhausted, not just from learning English, but from life in general.
That's important.
What do you mean?
Sometimes we blame English for something that has nothing to do with English.
That's true.
Stress, work, family, responsibilities, emotions?
Life doesn't separate itself into neat categories.
Exactly. And when life becomes overwhelming, our energy changes.
But I felt guilty.
Why?
Because I thought I was falling behind.
Behind whom?
Again, I don't really know.
It's interesting how often we create invisible races.
And then punish ourselves for not winning them.
That's why I think rest is misunderstood.
In what way?
People think rest means quitting.
But it doesn't.
No, rest is not the opposite of growth.
Then what is?
Sometimes rest is part of growth.
I like that. Imagine a tree during winter.
It looks inactive.
But no one calls it dead.
Because we know spring will come.
Exactly. Yet we don't offer ourselves the same patience.
We expect constant productivity,
Constant motivation.
constant progress.
Which isn't realistic.
No human being functions that way.
You know, James, when I returned after those 2 months, I was surprised.
Why?
Because I thought I had lost everything.
But you hadn't?
No, I was slower at first, but I hadn't started from zero.
That's an important lesson.
Progress is more resilient than we think.
Exactly.
I think we forget that because fear makes us dramatic.
It tells us that one bad week ruins everything.
Or one break means failure.
But growth doesn't disappear that easily.
James, can I ask you something?
Of course.
Have you ever felt lost in your learning journey?
Many times.
Really?
Absolutely.
What did you do?
At first, I used to panic.
And now?
Now, I pause.
Pause?
Yes. Instead of forcing myself forward, I ask questions.
What kind of questions?
Am I tired?
That's simple.
Am I overwhelmed?
Also simple.
Am I carrying too much?
And what if the answer is yes?
Then perhaps I don't need more discipline.
What do you need?
More kindness.
Kindness.
Toward myself.
That's not something people often talk about in language learning.
No. We talk about effort, but not compassion.
We talk about consistency, but not patience.
And yet, patience is what keeps consistency alive.
You know what I find comforting?
What?
The fact that we can always come back.
Yes.
No matter how long we've been away.
No matter how lost we felt.
No matter how disappointed we've been in ourselves.
The journey is still there.
Waiting.
Not judging.
Just waiting.
And perhaps that's what makes learning different from a competition.
Because competitions punish pauses.
But journeys allow them.
That's beautiful.
Maybe losing motivation isn't always a sign that we should quit.
Maybe sometimes it's an invitation.
An invitation to slow down,
To breathe.
to reconnect.
And to remember.
Remember what?
Remember why we started.
Because perhaps the answer isn't gone.
Perhaps it's simply waiting for us to listen again.
Perhaps it's simply waiting for us to listen again.
You know, James, after everything we've talked about, I keep coming back to one question.
Which question?
Why does remembering our why matter so much?
That's a beautiful question.
I think many people assume that motivation is the fuel.
But motivation comes and goes.
Exactly.
Some mornings we feel inspired.
And some mornings we don't.
Which means that if we depend only on motivation, our journey becomes fragile.
Then what keeps us going?
Meaning.
Meaning.
Yes, meaning is quieter than motivation, but much stronger.
Stronger how?
Because motivation says, I feel like doing this today.
And meaning?
Meaning says, this matters to me. even on difficult days.
I love that distinction.
And I think that's why returning to our why is so important.
Not because it makes everything easy.
But because it reminds us that the struggle itself has a purpose.
You know, James, if someone had asked me years ago why I was learning English, I would have given a simple answer.
Such as what?
To understand movies, to listen to music, to travel.
And if I asked you today, Ruby, I think your answer would be different.
Tell me, I think I learn English because I love feeling connected.
Connected to what?
To people, to stories, to ideas, to parts of the world I may never physically visit.
That's beautiful. And strangely enough, I think learning English helped me understand myself better too.
I understand that.
Sometimes a new language gives us new ways to describe emotions we couldn't explain before.
And new ways to understand others.
Which means we aren't only learning words.
We're expanding our world.
Exactly. You know, Ruby, I once thought fluency was the destination.
What do you think now, James?
I think fluency is just a companion.
A companion?
Yes, something that walks beside us while we live, grow, and connect.
So perhaps the real goal was never perfect English.
Perhaps it was always something deeper.
Freedom.
Curiosity.
Connection.
Understanding.
Growth.
And maybe even hope.
Hope?
Yes.
Hope for what?
Hope that we can become larger than the limits we once believed in.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. You know what I find comforting?
What?
The fact that there isn't one correct reason for learning.
No, there isn't.
Some people learn for work.
Some for travel.
Some for books.
Some for love.
Some for freedom.
And some simply because they are curious.
And all of those reasons are enough.
Yes.
Because meaning doesn't have to impress anyone.
It only has to be true.
Exactly. And maybe that's the beauty of why.
Not that it gives us endless motivation,
But that it gives us something deeper.
something quieter.
Something we can return to when life becomes noisy.
A small reminder
A gentle reminder.
that we didn't begin this journey because we had to.
We began because something inside us was curious.
Something inside us was hopeful.
Something inside us wanted to connect.
And perhaps that part of us is still here,
Waiting patiently.
not demanding perfection,
Not asking us to move faster.
simply inviting us to continue.
One word,
One conversation,
one day at a time.
because perhaps learning English was never really about English.
Perhaps it was always about becoming more open to the world.
And maybe in the process.
We become more open to ourselves.
And maybe that.
Is the beauty of why.
And maybe that is enough.